Hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Knitty Knotty Podcast, episode 21. I am Vanessa, Knitty Witch on Instagram and Ravelry.
And I'm Diane. I am, what? Oh, my goodness. On
The Knotted
Ravelry.
Bag.
No, on Ravelry, I am Freedom for You.
That's right.
The number 4, the letter U. And I'm the Knotted Bag on Instagram and Etsy. Yeah, that's it. Welcome,
So
everybody.
have you ever thought about changing your Ravelry name to Knotted Bag?
Can I do that?
You can change your Ravelry name only 3 times.
Oh, I should do that then. Yeah.
I changed mine to Knitty Witch. That was my 3rd change.
Okay, I really should do that because Freedom for You, when I joined Ravelry, it was like 2007. And at the time, well, I still do energy work, right? The tapping. And so I think at the time I had like an internet radio show and it was called The Freedom Show. So I just used that, like Freedom for You. And
oh, yeah, you can change it.
Mm-hmm. Well, maybe I will.
Yeah, I changed mine. I think the first time I put in like Vanessa 920. And then I realized that people actually had like real names. So then I changed it to Vintage Rose. And then I changed it to Knitty Witch.
Well, because you don't, especially back then, like you didn't even know. Sometimes you're signing up for something and you don't know what that username is being used for. Like, is that like
that's what happened to me the first time. I wasn't quite sure.
So I did a major cleanup in my bedroom yesterday, and I was cleaning out one of my yarn drawers, and look what I found. Can you see that? Wait.
Mm-mm.
Nope.
Oh, look. You gotta make it has to focus, come back a little bit.
Sorry.
No, it just pull it back a little bit. There you go.
You see it?
Yep.
Shamrock? Yeah.
So
that was yours.
Yeah, that was what did I call that one? Lucky or something.
Yeah. I was like, oh.
I still have, listen, for anyone that is listening, I still have tons of stitch marker sets pre-made. If you're looking for something, just message me and I probably have it. I
honestly have different stitch markers, like even the ones we bought that I bought in Maryland, which by the way, I'm already so looking forward to Maryland this year. But the what was I going to say? The pottery, the pottery lady. Jenny the Potter. Remember I bought that little jar, which I actually love. The jar. I put all of my stitch markers in there. But one of them, because they're kind of heavy, right? They're little discs, and I love them, but the thing came off the thing. So see this one, I don't know if you'll be able to, I'm not aiming at the camera very well, but it's like on a little ring, right?
Okay, so bring that with you when you go to Maryland and I will reattach it.
I can probably fix it because I have jewelry making stuff, but It was just annoying because so the big ring I'm still using on my knitting, but it's just annoying that it came off. It's not like, I'm not saying her stuff is crap at all. Like I'm just, where I was going with this is that I've never found stitch markers that I've loved as much as yours. So I hope you start selling them again. But
I really want to. I own my domain. I own knittywitch.com. I'm trying to. The thing is, we're still moving around the house. Yeah. So everything is in the basement. Like I didn't realize we were going to do that. Like the extent
and I'm not trying to make you feel bad in any way. I'm just trying to encourage.
I really want to. And like, I work a lot now because I'm an assistant, but once I'm like a hairstylist full time, I'll have more time. So I'm trying, like, I have so much stuff, and I even had bought, right before I stopped, I had bought an all new different type of stitch marker that I was going to make.
Honestly, I think you're totally overthinking it, and I think it's great to have like the big plan, but you could just like grab one, take a picture, put it on Instagram, and just be like, these are available. Let me know if you want them. Like, it doesn't have to be You know what I mean? Like I've seen people do like stash busting, not stash busting, but like people selling their stash on Instagram. I've seen like other people who are like, hey, I have this yarn ready. You could just like do it really basic like that. And I think you would get
I could
sales.
try,
Like
but
I
I
don't
have
think
hundreds. Like it would, it would just be easier to put them on a site. You know what I mean?
yeah.
I just got to get the space to do it.
Yeah. Anyway, I
Yeah.
just, I love you and I love your stuff. So there you go.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. So it's been a minute since we recorded. So I can't even remember what we talked about, but I do have a finished thing.
Oh yeah.
It's another baby.
Oh my God. It is so beautiful.
So I don't know if you can really see the color and the sparkle, but I have stellina all over my pants. Oh my God, it's brutal. But this is that vintage Christmas fiber that it's really soft too. But I have about 1,300 yards of light fingering, which is what I kind of naturally spin.
I wish I could spin that thin. I'm trying.
Yeah, it's really pretty. I'm happy with it. It's yeah, it's like pale pinks, greens. Can't really see the blue, but the blue kind of fades into the light green. It's always scary when you wash it and the color comes out. Like there was a lot of like red in it.
Red is a color that bleeds. It has to be set right. I don't know if she said it right or if it's just happens, but red, you know what? I think it like just happens because I remember with Cherie, she was telling me that red is the worst color to bleed. So when she did my, she dyed a custom colorway for Christmas, red, white, and green. She told me to be really careful when I washed it because the red would run into the white. So it could just be that color.
I think when it's yarn and you're washing like a sock or whatever, you can do it in cool water, which you're not going to get as much bleeding. But when you're washing your hand spun and you need it to, to sort of balance, you have to wash it in warm water or hot water to get that spring back in, right? So it balances. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Well, I understand what you're saying, but I've never done that. I've always used cold water.
Really?
Yeah.
No, if you have, then maybe I misunderstood it wrong, but that's my understanding that if you, let's say you have one ply that's been sitting for a long time and then your second, like I know some people wait a few days to start plying because they want both plies to sort of be sitting and it loses its curl, right, as it sits, the ply. And when you apply heat, it curls back up. So it kind of like comes back together. So when you, so sometimes if you ply and like when you're plying and one has been sitting for a longer time than the other one, you can get like an imbalanced yarn, right? And the imbalanced yarn is when it's kind of like crooked. You know what I mean? Because one of them is curling, one of them is, I don't know, is twisting is what I should say. One of them is twisting one way, and the other one is kind of like asleep, so it's not reacting with it, right? So then you get this kind of crooked thing. But then when you wash it in warm to hot water, I'm not saying scalding water, but when you wash it in warm to hot water, then both of the plies kind of like spring back up, and then your yarn gets that nice balance, like you thwack it and stuff. That was my understanding of it.
That could be. So I've never, see, now you know more about spinning than I do because you've been spinning longer than me. What I can tell you what I know about hair, because fiber is a hair that comes from a sheep. A hair has 3 layers to it. It has the outer layer is the cortex, the center layer is the cuticle, and the middle is the medulla, which means nothing to you except the outer layer, the cuticle. That's the important thing, because when you dye it, the cuticle, if you use warm water, the cuticle of your hair opens, so that layer like fans out the outer layer, and then stuff can get in. So the dye goes in, and once it goes in, you use cold water to lock it. But if you use warm water again, that outer layer opens up and the dye comes out.
Right. So that's why I was going to say, if you knit a pair of socks, let's say with Cherie's yarn, and there's red, you don't have to wash it in warm water. You can wash that in cold water. The reason that I put my spinning in warm water is to get it balanced. It's for that curl, that not curl, the spring, or the twist. Again, I don't know if I'm weird. It's for that twist to even out. So most of the time it's fine.
Use warm, don't use hot, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, it's warm, but yeah. And it was one time I went to the spinning group and I didn't understand that whole thing. And this lady was like, "Here, I'll show you." And she I can't remember if it was a ply or whatever, but she boiled the kettle and she put the ply over steam, and we saw it basically like come to life or yeah. So anyway, it's beautiful. I'm really happy with it.
It's really beautiful.
It's very shiny. Yeah, it's pretty. So 1,300 yards. I think I can make a sweater with that.
I think so.
Yeah, I'm really into. I don't really want to do shawls anymore because I end up just wearing the same one or two all the time at work.
Yeah, I have like 5 shawls and I don't wear them. Hold on a second. My lips are like so dry and all I have is like a ton of lipstick. I'm trying to find like a lip gloss or something.
You know, my favorite
like peeling.
Yeah, my favorite lip thing is Bite.
Oh.
It's a little tube and it is so hydrating, and I should have some one too because it's winter here, cold.
Well, this was just a gloss and it has color and it tastes gross, but.
So do you have any, and then I have some knitting and I have some new spinning and I have some stash acquisition. So do you have any finished object?
Yeah, I do actually. So I finished the baby sweater I was knitting for baby Owen, the girl at work that had a boy. So here it is. Wait, where are we at? Here it is.
So the baby must be here now.
No, the baby is not fitting into this yet.
Oh, okay. But the baby is here.
Yeah, the baby is here. So
it's
I don't
really
know how
pretty.
well you see that, but I used, it totally changed pictures on me.
Oh, I saw it.
Okay, it's from Fiber Spates is the yarn, and the pattern is it's called Petite Peridot. Is that right? Can you see it? There it is, Petite Peridot. And it's by Trico Design MCL. It was a Canadian pattern and it came out so good. She loved it. Like the color was perfect. It was a little bit challenging in the fact that it had a textured pattern to it. The thing actually has like a textured pattern. I ended up saying, forget that. I'm just doing stockinette, because I didn't want to take more time, because once I realized like the intricacy of the pattern, I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to get this done in time if I don't just convert stockinette. But you have a pattern for the collar, and it's not difficult at all, but I made a couple mistakes like through it, like getting the pattern right, because you are following like the design of it. But it was a lot of fun.
Cool.
It was a lot of fun.
It's fun to like those kids things are so much faster.
That took me so long to knit. So like my knitting mojo has been low since I've been playing video games. I got a new Switch, so I've been playing video games and then knitting at the same time. So it's like I'm going slower. That sweater took me like 2 months to make. This
but don't you
sweater.
find too, like I find for me, if I like I'll get really excited. I think a lot of people are like that. We get really excited about a new project, a new pattern, and then you start knitting it and you're like, yeah, you get excited about something else, right? And I find that happens. especially if I'm knitting for somebody else.
That's what happened. So like I'm over here, I'm working on my Maryland sheep and wool sweater. Ow, I just cracked my ankle. My Maryland sheep and wool sweater, and I stop it to do not one project, but like 4. So, because everyone at my job is having babies. Like there's 2 girls right now, I think I mentioned this, that are both trying to get pregnant at the same time. Yeah. Everyone, there's babies everywhere. So I did a hat, I did the sweater, and I am working on, which I'll show you in a second, the other 2 hats. And then I'm almost done. I got to put pom-poms in, weave in the ends, done. I'm going back to my sweater. Over it.
I was thinking about whether I need like a special sweater for Maryland, but then I thought I have my big Rwanda, and that'll keep me warm if I need warmth. And at the same time,
Maryland is always pretty mildly, you know, temperature wise. That's the rain you don't know about.
Yeah, but I
think we should get raincoats.
My hot pink Rwanda, I think, will be good because it'll be a good way to show off, you know, and plus we want to take pictures. I still don't have pictures, and I think it was a great idea you had of taking pictures there. So I have, what should I, I think I had started this maybe the last time we recorded my sweater, what am I trying to say? This is the So Faded pattern.
Okay.
That I've knit before. I like it. It's a very simple design. So I'm here. This is the front. So I'm nearing the ribbed edge, the ribbing. And this yarn is, I can't remember. I've talked about it before though. It's a local to me yarn, and I just love the color.
Basically, it's like not a lime green, but a very pretty green.
It's more of an olive green, but I don't think it's olive quite. It's brighter. And then
it's probably chartreuse. You never know that color, chartreuse.
Yeah.
Like, I'll tell you about that color real quick. So circa like 2002, I'm watching Blue's Clues with my daughter, who's like 1 or 2 years old, Sabriel, the older one. She's 17 now, almost 18. And I hear, what color is the chair on Blue's Clues? And she goes, the chair is chartreuse. And I'm like, what? Chartreuse? Like you're teaching 2-year-old chartreuse? Like, and I can Google it because I've never even heard of the color before.
That's funny.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, it's a nice, I'm thinking also, the sweater I'm wearing right now, the ribbed edge has this, it's split. Open on the sides. Yeah, slit. I have no words today. And I think I might do that for that one because I do have bigger hips than my waist, and I find it sits nice with the slit on both sides. So I might do that. And it's a
nice little modification.
Yeah, I have another work in progress, but I can show it after if you want to.
Okay, I'll show mine. So my work in progress is in it used to be the Silver Pumpkin on Etsy. She's no longer in business, which I'm so depressed about because she's the only person that has ever made a bag like this. So it has its handles.
Yeah.
And then it's got a tie in front right here. So it goes like this. You pull forward, and then you have these 2 little handles on the bag. I love that design. So I showed the yarn last time. So where's the other hat?
By the way, I'm probably going to look like I'm looking sideways, but I can't like look at you and look into the camera at the same time. So.
No, you're fine. So I have to weave in the ends, but here is the little Eagles hat.
Aw.
Eagles colors are Eagles green and gray.
I remember I think you had just bought the yarn for these when we last recorded.
Yeah. Yep. Eagles green is a teal It has more green in it than blue, but it is a teal. So all I'm doing, I would already have these done, but my pom-pom maker went MIA. I had to go buy a new one yesterday. And I don't like making them myself. And then here is the Washington Redskins one, and all I have to do is just close up this top and then pom-pom it.
Cool.
So these are also Harry Potter Gryffindor colors. So yay for Gryffindor. I'm actually a Gryffindor house.
How do you put your pom-poms in?
So I make the pom-pom and I leave 2 strings and I pull them through where I want them, and then I turn around and I tie it in the inside of the hat and knot it and then weave in the ends.
Okay.
So that's it. I gotta put the pom-poms on and then I'm done.
Have you ever heard of putting a button on the inside
to make it snap so you can pull the pom-pom off?
No, not a snap button. I just mean like if you use like a regular button with holes and you put it on the inside and you weave your ends through that, then it just, I think it creates more stability.
See, I can't do that this time because I don't have buttons like that, but now you're gonna have me go to Joann's and buy a bunch of buttons for pom-poms.
But just plain, it's obviously don't have to be fancy, but just like a plain button, because then you're sure that the ends can't come out of the hole, right? So if you have your button and you put the holes, your 2 ends through the button inside, and you put your knot over that, then that's gonna stop it from coming out. And then you still weave in your ends. It's just like a double, yeah. Anyway, it's just, I can't even remember if I've ever done that or not, but it's something I've heard of. I'm not a big pom-pom fan. I love them, but I find they're not practical, because when you want to put your hood on top of your hat, it's like you've got this big thing. Like, they're cute, but they're not the most practical in terms of, I remember even Seth, I had knitted one, was going to be for me. It was out of handspun. And then he ended up like taking it because this was a few years ago, and we ended up having to take the pom-pom off because, again, for him, he would put his jacket hood up in the winter and it was always in the way.
See, you guys actually have to keep warm up there because your winter is brutal. But I think for us, my winter here in Delaware, not in the rest, like not in northern US, but my weather here is very mild. So I don't even have a coat with a hood. Like I have a leather jacket and it has no hood. So for me, it works.
You can just look cute.
Yeah, I can just look cute. Like it's not that serious outside. We haven't even had snow, Diane. Not once. I am so upset. It is now February and there's no snow. You know what the temperature is today?
It's
like 40.
Snowing here. It's snowing. Oh, I lost you.
I know. Hold on. My thing gave me a warning.
It's what? A warning of what?
Like I have 20% left on my phone, which is really weird because I charged it last night. So I don't know if like I accidentally didn't charge it the right way.
Do we need to hurry?
Maybe a little bit.
Okay. It's snowing here. Anyway, by the way. Pain in the ass. Okay, so let me show you the other thing that I'm working on. So I have my chartreuse sweater, and then I was in one of those phases that I really wanted to cast on something new, but now I'm not happy with the needle I have, and so I want to buy one with a shorter cord. It's at the very beginnings of the sweater.
Are you magic looping?
Yeah, but it's annoying on a sweater. So
it really is.
I don't know if you can see the stripes here, and I have not separated for the sleeves yet, but I am using 2 cakes of Miss Babs Yowza that I bought years and years and years and years ago, like possibly when we went to Rhinebeck, that whole group of us.
We all did.
Yeah. And of course, I always gravitate to the same colors. So
Yes,
these are
you
just
do. So do I.
variations of the same. They are a little bit different. Like this one has a bit more browny, orangey. This one is more of like a hot pink. And I've held on to these forever, and they're really good yardage. They're, what are they, like
They're
560
yowzas.
yards each? Yeah. And I remember back when I bought them, it was confusing because they were worsted, but they said, well, they're more like a light worsted or a DK. And now if you go on the Ravelry page for Yowza, it does say to treat it as a DK. So I found a pattern that I had in my queue called After the Fade, After the Rain. And I think it's by Heidi Kermeyer. I think I actually favorited this pattern when I was looking for something to knit my sport weight handspun.
I'm gonna look now.
But
After
this one
the Rain.
is, yeah, this is like a black and white copy, but it's a simple sweater that has stripes. Which of course you never have to do the striping. I mean, you do what you want, but
Oh, this is pretty.
right? It's just a nice
Hold on, I'm
simple
pulling it
sweater.
up in color.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like that. I might make one.
And so that's DK.
Really?
And yeah.
I wonder how many skeins of DK it uses based on the yardage.
I am making a, wait a minute. Where's my, I highlighted, I circled everything because I'm making the small one, the S1. And
The
where's that?
small 34 or small 236?
Yeah, the 34.
Oh,
My
that's smaller
bra's
than me.
My bra's a 34. Oh yes, girl.
Well, my bra's a 34 too, but 34 doesn't hold these puppies in.
S1 is a finished chest circumference of 34.25, and then S2 is a 36.5. So it's DK weight yarn in the following amounts in each of 2 colors. So you see, S1 is 505 yards of each, and S2 is 535 yards of each. So my Yowza, I should be fine because they're like almost 600 yards each, those skeins.
So you need 4 skeins basically?
Yeah. Well, what does DK usually have in a skein?
Like 300-ish?
Yeah.
Let me see what the rain. After the rain, she used felted tweed, which is DK. It is 191 yards and 50 grams. So for 100 gram skein, you're going to get almost 400 yards, so 3 something.
Yeah.
And you need 4 of those?
I think this is a little bit heavy for a DK. It's not a worsted, but it is a bit heavy. Like I'm using and I'm a tight knitter, granted.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the fabric I'm getting, it's probably tighter than it needs to be. I'm not sure. I seem to be getting gauge when I stretch it out.
Okay. I think if I did this, I wouldn't do it in stripes. I think I would do it in a single color.
It's a 3.5 millimeter needle. What is that in US?
4.
Yeah. So I don't know. I probably would have cast on with a 3.75, but I didn't have one available. And I'm okay with what it looks like. So I knitted on it for a bit and then I kind of set it aside, but I've learned my lesson. I circled all my numbers because I keep thinking, oh, I'll remember what I'm doing, and then I don't. But I was finding it annoying to do, like, I don't mind doing magic loop when I'm making socks and stuff, but on a sweater, the whole point of knitting in the round is for it to go faster, and the magic loop is slowing me down. So I need to get to a store and pick up a shorter cord. So So that's that. Did you have anything else?
No, I don't. And I probably should go because I don't think my phone's going to last much longer. I got to figure out what happened on that.
Okay, I'll tell you really quick. So I had got this skein
Oh,
from,
yeah. It's so rainbowy. I
yeah,
love
this
it.
is called Hells to the Yes, and it's like sort of rainbow striping, but between the rainbow stripings, there's different grays, different shades of gray. And so I decided that I wanted this to make a sock arm sweater. So I needed something for the body, and I didn't have anything. And I kept talking to you about this, and I finally found the perfect, and it is so beautiful.
It is so pretty.
Yeah. So it's
I love that.
variegated, and it has speckles. It's perfect.
It's
And
beautiful.
it is by Snuggly Stars Yarns.
Is that a Canada yarn?
No, I think she's in the UK. I'm not sure where she is, but it's yeah, England, UK.
Okay.
SnugglyStarsYarns.etsy.com. So I just basically Googled gray and speckled and on Etsy and found this. So I got two. So for the body, I think this is absolute perfection. I'm super happy with it.
Yeah. Is this for Seth or for you?
Mhm.
Is this
For
for
me.
Seth or for you? Oh, okay. You're like me. I'm not put.
Now listen, if he's asked me in the past to knit him a sweater, and I've said yes, we have to look at patterns together. And then when I asked him again, he wasn't interested. I'm not pushing it because he's still growing. And
Yes,
if
that's why I have not knit anything for Brenna. Like I knit her hats when she was younger. I knit her a bunch of little hats because she was so cute. She always loved wearing hats with little tassels. So she'd be a 2-year-old with her little pacifier running around with her little hat. But,
I remember.
Yeah. So I'm gonna knit her a hat, but I'm not gonna knit her any garments.
Yeah, I would knit him, and I would do like worsted or something with Cascade, but I'm not going to do it unless he really wants it. And like, if it's just a passing, like, oh, I want you to knit me something, like, okay, when you're grown, I will knit all the things. But
right.
So the last thing I wanted to show is my next spinning project is, how I said I wanted to spin worsted.
Mm-hmm.
So I have. This is 1 ply. I had to do it on 2 bobbins, but I'm happy with it.
It looks really pretty.
Yeah, I'm using different, I'm using different bats that I'm putting together from, like, I think I told you about this already, this lady who sold these really beautiful art bats. And they were so well priced, and I would just buy a whole bunch in the colors that I love. Of course, always the same thing. I had previously spun this from her bats and knit it into a cowl that I then frogged years later because I just wasn't wearing it. And I thought, when I got into my like sweater knitting thing, I thought I really would rather have this in a sweater. So I put together all of these different bats that I had into like equal-ish weight. And so what I just showed you is 1 ply, and now I'm working on the 2nd ply. And I found and printed what I had purchased, the thing that I find really hard to find. I got this on Etsy. It's from Electric Carnation, and you print it off, and I'm like to go get it laminated at some point, but you get these different cards. So the second one, I don't know if you see, but it says singles.
Yes.
So singles, so it has singles width for 2 ply, and then singles width for 3 ply. So when you're plying, you can, every now and then I'll go to like, okay, I want worsted. So I stick my ply on the line to see if I've got the right width. And
where did you get that?
On Etsy.
Is it laminated or something? Or
no,
it's a paper that you print. Okay.
And it shows you like this is supposed to be 2 inches to make sure you printed it properly. And then I could cut it and go get it laminated. I just haven't done that yet. And then it says common yarn, WPI ranges. I think the idea is that you can sort of put these like back to back and laminate them. But this is what I was looking for when we went to Maryland that I couldn't find, because I just would have liked to have had a card that was already printed. But this is exactly what I needed, because if you're going to spin for a specific weight, you need to know what the ply size needs to be, right? And so I like readjusting, and I don't know if I'll be quite a worsted, but I'm definitely, my ply is, you know, worsted to DK. And it's crazy because as I'm spinning, I'm like, whoa, this is really, really thick. And then I'll apply it to my paper and be like, oh, I'm not even quite worsted yet. You know, it could be more. So it's,
okay, you're gonna have to send me the link to that because I need that.
Okay, I will, for sure. It's really useful. So
yeah, that is the coolest.
Yeah, and it's crazy how, I know this seems really obvious, but it's so crazy how much faster you spin when you're spinning worsted, like a worsted ply, than a fingering ply.
Yeah.
I know, it's kind of fun. It's like, woo!
And I'm still trying to get thinner. You're over here trying to get thicker, and I'm trying to get thinner.
Exactly. So, all right. Well, I don't want your phone to die on you.
No, I don't want my phone to die either. All right. So thanks everyone for watching. I love talking to you. And we'll see you soon.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.